Hey Olgada, and welcome to PNG Homeschool Tutorials. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome. This video is the part 3 of activity 9.1, where we cover question number 10 and question number 11. Again, these two questions are word problems. So like what we do, we read the questions, we interpret them, we pick out the important information, we substitute those information into the formulas that we already knew, and then we calculate the unknown. Okay, I will do voiceover on this one as we go on. This is to avoid plenty of writings appearing on the screen. So the question says Akeem needs to make 5 circular chicken runs. So chicken runs in PNG term, it will be what we call kakaruk banisa. And each one will have a radius of 6 meters. So the radius is now given directly, that's 6 meters. And the question asks how many meters of chicken wire will Akeem need to make the 5 chicken runs. Okay. So here, let's translate this one into a diagram. Let's first of all draw a diagram to illustrate this. We can clearly see that if he needs to build a chicken run with a radius of 6 meters, he will need a wire length that is equal to the circumference of that chicken run. Okay. The length of the wire, when you fold it to form this chicken run, it will give a circular fence with a radius of 6 meters. Now, that's the most important information that we get. The length of wire is going to need to build this chicken run will be just the same as the circumference of that chicken fence. Okay, now we use the formula for the circumference of the circle, and with the radius given, we calculate the circumference. And that's the value of the circumference. Now from what we know, that value is just the length for that wire mesh. Okay, the question is asking for the length of wire mesh for 5 chicken runs. So it's simple, all we do is multiply that length by 5 to get a total length. And there you go. That's the total length of wire Mr. Akeem needs. Now let's do question 11. Question 11 starts off very differently. So it doesn't give anything that relates to the circles that we've been going through. Okay. It doesn't give the circumference, doesn't give the diameter, doesn't give the radius or anything. It only says the wheels go 8,000 meters in 5,000 turns. So this is to test our knowledge about wheels. So we use a different method to work back to the point where we can apply the formulas for the circles. Now we will use ratio in part A of the question. So what we'll do, we'll write down all the information given, we express them in ratio form, and now we cross multiply to come up with an equation for us to solve for an unknown. That unknown we can denote it as x, and that's basically the distance the wheels traveled in 1000 turns. So we'll write 5000 turns is to 800 meters and 1000 turns is to x. X being the unknown we try to calculate. Now we cross multiply 8000 meters by 1000 turns. We get 8 million on the left hand side. Then we cross multiply 5000 turns by x, we get 5000x on the right hand side. Now to find x, we divide 5000 on each side. So left hand side we have 8 million divided by 5000, and on the right hand side we have x. So we evaluate that, we get 1600. Now that's 1600 is in meters, okay? Because we started off with 8,000 meters in the first expression. So we can say x is equals to 1600 meters. But we can also write this in kilometers, yeah? And to convert meters into kilometers, we just divide by 1000. So we get around 1.6 kilometers. So that 1.6 kilometers is the distance the wheels travel in 1000 turns. Now let's go to B. So question B is very simple. It's only asking for one turn. So like we knew from previous questions. Now for B, it's asking for one turn. Now this is the part where some of us will get confused and saying, oh, we don't have the radius, we don't have the diameter to calculate one turn, because we know that one turn is equals to the circumference. But look at the information that we dealt with so far. We know that in 1000 turns, the wheel runs 1600 meters. Okay, so that means if you want to find for one turn, all we do is divide this 1600 by 1000, okay, to get one turn. And we get around 1.6 meters. Now, from our previous knowledge, we know that a wheel turns a full revolution, or we call it one turn. The distance covered is just the circumference of the wheel, yeah? So that's it. After we calculate the answer for B, we know that 1.6 meters is just the circumference of the wheel. Now if we move to C, question C is asking for the circumference of the wheel. So that's it. We're just gonna pull the answer straight from part B of the question and write it down there. Now part D of the question is asking for the diameter of the wheel. Here we write C is equals to pi diameter, or pi d. We can make D the subject of the formula, and then we calculate its value. So you see, we already know the value of the circumference C. So we substitute 1.6 meter in, we evaluate it, and we get 0.50955 meters. Okay, so the question is asking for the answer to be written in the nearest centimeters. We convert the calculated value of the diameter to centimeters first. So let's bring down a conversion factor. To convert from meters to centimeters, all we do is multiply by 100. Okay, it's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, and you multiply that, you get somewhere around 50.955 centimeters. Yes. And if you want to write that in the nearest centimeters, your answer would be 51. If you want to leave your answer in a much precise state, then just write it as 50.955 centimeters. But again, it depends on what the question is asking. Okay, this is the end of activity 9.1. The next video will start on activity 9.2. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so to help support this channel. If you have questions, put it in the comments below and let us have a look at it. Do watch closely and learn as much as you can in this channel. Thank you.